Hey friend, welcome. I'm Jen. I am a part-time clothing online reseller. So what that means is I go to thrift stores and yard sales and I buy clothes for little money and hopefully I sell them on eBay or Poshmark for more money. Sometimes that works out. I have $228.18 in gross sales going out, shipping out today. I'm going to ship those with you right now. It's 10 items and one that I made a really huge mistake on. It cost me, I think, $80. That's my guess. So we'll talk about that at the very end. You'll want to stick around for that. And also I will share my total profit for the last 2 days. So this has been over the weekend. It's Monday morning. And this is Torrid. This is a brand that I like a lot. This is just like a sweatshirt. And I looked up Torrid sweatshirts purple, because this is purple, on Terapeak, and these actually have a 32% sell-through rate, which I think is great. When I am looking for things, I want them to be 25% or higher. You'll see that's not always the case, but they have an average sale price of $23.26. I don't ever really like to pay very much for Torrid because it doesn't sell for a lot of money, but it usually sells for me. And let's see. Mine sold for $20.15 after fees and shipping. So the total that I tell you for eBay is the total, the amount the person paid for shipping and the item, because that's the amount that goes into my account, and then I have to pay shipping out of that. And then my cost of goods, my profit is $8.01. I did pay $3 for this at a garage sale. I've been to the same garage sale like 2 times, and I think it's like 2 sisters, and they all have a bunch of Torrid, but they price it all differently. Some of it, this last time, was priced pretty high, like $10. And I'm not willing to pay that, but $3 is okay. I probably would have liked to have gotten more money. However, my pictures were terrible. This purple was really hard for me to photograph. I have horrible lighting right now. I'm trying to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. It is what it is. That is a rounded vantage item. So it just went in one of my poly mailers. I buy them off of Amazon. This is sold for real cheap, and I was like, what? And then I went and looked at it, and it's totally flawed. It's awful. But this is a brand heirloom collection. It is a vintage snowman sweater. It's really cool. It's got a lot going on. But there's like a hole in it somewhere. There's all sorts of flaws with, like, it's beaded and it has some sequins and the applique. Like, there's all sorts of trouble with this. If it did, oh yeah, look, that hole is significant. So I usually price my vintage sweaters no lower than $30. This I priced at $10, and then they used my 15% off coupon. I have just a coupon on my store. So let's see. If it didn't have flaws, the average sale price would be about $34.48, which makes sense to me. But the sell-through rate is only 4%, which seems low. I feel like I sell stuff like this quite a bit. If you see something that's like a cardigan or a sweater that is Michael Simon, and it'll have tons of beading and embroidery, and those are good. You can sell those for like $50 or more. They're great. Mine sold for $18.92. Like I said, it sold for $10, basically, actually $7 plus shipping. So my cost of goods was $2. I found it at a garage sale. my profit was $6.43, which is sad, but it did sell in a month. So sometimes I just miss stuff, whether the lighting's bad or that happens a lot with staining. I feel like if the lighting is bad somewhere, I miss a stain, but sometimes I'm just not paying attention, and don't do that. That's not so great. This is going out priority. They did pay for priority shipping, and I just put them in these Tyvek mailers. I don't think they seal very well, so I add extra little stickers to help that seal up a little better. All right, these are vintage True Religion jeans, which you would think, oh, that sounds really cool. They're really tiny for one thing. They do have these little patch pockets with this, whatever that is. I am seeing that there's like a pucker in the fly, so you always want to check that area. They're also tiny. Teeny tiny tiny, but they are pretty flared leg, very low rise, very 2000s. Oh my word, I would have loved these jeans. Not sure what's happening. We live very close to a highway. And it gets loud sometimes. Vintage True Religion women's jeans have a 13% sell-through rate and a $24.80 average sale price. That's the research. I always do my research on eBay. These sold on Poshmark for $18. And let's see, I paid nothing for them. I paid something for them, but I bought them at my favorite thrift store, which has basically a perpetual bag sale. And I think because these had, I think I said already, they have like an odor to them. So I took them out of the items that I was averaging and just did a zero cost of goods for them. So my profit is $14.40, and that was in about 6 months. So I think, I should have checked this, but I think the men's jeans, the vintage True Religion men's jeans, do a lot better. Don't quote me on that because I didn't actually look it up, but that is my thought on the subject. All right, so this next item, I didn't look it up by brand, but the style has a really good average sale price. So this is a cardigan sweater. It is argyle, which is this, you know, kind of crisscrossy diamond pattern, and it does have cashmere in it, but it's just from JCPenney. So that's why I didn't look up the actual brand. Maybe I should have done both, but the style on this cashmere blend argyle cardigan sweater had a 27% sell-through rate, and the average sale price was $40.11, which I think is fantastic, right? This did not sell for that much at all. Okay, it's a little pilly right here under the arm. I usually will note that, but it's been a while, so I don't know for sure that I did. This sold in 8 months. I did only pay 26 cents for it. That was my average cost of goods. We don't have a Salvation Army in our town, so we don't have a Salvation Army store in our town. So the Salvation Army Church runs a rummage sale 3 or 4 times a year, and it's always fantastic. I do have some old like thrift haul videos from this sale, so this one was a long time ago, but it did only cost me 26 cents. That was my average. I just went 2 weeks ago. My average cost was like 67 cents. Actually, I think one of the things I bought, the thing I made a mistake on, I bought there. So this one sold for $21.65 on eBay. And after shipping, fees, and this was promoted, and my cost of goods, my profit is $11.31. You know, that is not too bad when you've only paid 26 cents for something. Do I want to hang on to it for 8 months? Not really, no, but I'm glad it sold. Oh, right. Oh, well, let's see if I can grab that. Okay. This next one is good. Excellent. All right, so this you will definitely want to keep an eye out for if you are a reseller. If not, you might just want to keep an eye out for it because it looks super cozy. So this is a cardigan, and it's real like textured. It is very hairy, which does not give me much hope. Okay, it's J. Crew, and it's rugged merino. So if I look up J. Crew rugged merino cardigans, the average sale price is $58.41, which is fantastic. 44% sell-through rate. I think that's the highest one for today. Pretty great. Mine didn't sell that for that much. I don't know why. I feel like I priced it right on when I was looking at comps. Oh, I see. Yeah, those got stuck together, or you're just playing with them? You're just playing with them? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I think mine did have a couple little like tiny flaws, like nothing that would, you know, stand out if you were wearing it. But just stuff that I did want to note because it's not, you know, it's not perfect. So it's a used sweater. So maybe that's why I did have this priced at 40. And like I said, I felt like when I priced it, I was pricing it pretty right on for what it needed to be selling for. So I think I did accept an offer for 30 on it. So the total the buyer paid was $42.45, which, you know, that's a lot for a sweater, for a used sweater. I think that's great. It sold in 3 months. I found that at the bins, the Goodwill outlet, the Goodwill outlet, they did, so the Goodwill outlet is literally big bins that you dig through and then you pay by the pound. So I guess I paid probably $2 for this sweater, maybe a little more, $2.50 or something like that. After fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, my profit's $26.09, which isn't bad. This is kind of big and bulky, so I'm putting it in the box. Just blocked you right out there. I'm gonna for a second, sorry. Okay. Nice and neat. I do like to wrap all my items in tissue paper and then add a little thank you sticker. I think it just, I don't know, just kind of adds to the presentation without making it over the top or way too expensive, because tissue papers are maybe a cent a piece, and the same with my little thank you stickers. Not very much money. So I gave you all that information, and we can move on to the next item. This had a 0 sell-through. So I had no information to give you on this, even style-wise. So this is a blazer. It is corduroy. It is like a teal, turquoise, aqua color. It does have these really cool, like, woven-y looking buttons. I like buttons. Oh, I forgot to show you. It's Kathy Davis is the brand. It's just a vintage cardigan. Not cardigan. I keep saying cardigan. Blazer. For a while, I was picking up a bunch of blazers, just in general. I do still look through them because I have sold some pretty good ones. This one was not so good. Like I said, 0 sell-through on eBay. This did sell on Poshmark. for $23. I paid $1.50 for it at a local thrift store, but a year and a half ago. That's crazy. Not a year and a half, a year ago. I paid $1.50. There we go. My profit's still $14.88. My goal is on average to be at about $15 average profit, just to like, you know, make sure my time is being compensated well. It takes time to take photographs and list and ship. So I'm pleased with that. Do I wish it would have sold in more than, you know, for less than a year? Yes, of course. I feel like I've had a lot of like interest in this blazer and it just hasn't sold for some reason. It was a larger-ish size, a 14, which on Poshmark says that 14 is a plus size, and that irritates the bejeebers out of me because it's not. No, Poshmark needs to stop it with the. Anyway, okay, I'm moving on from that little side rant. Not going to make that go on. All right, these. Oh, no, I was wrong. I do have something that's higher average sale price or average sell-through rate than that merino sweater, and it is these jeans. These are BKE jeans, and what I like about BKE jeans is it tells you the style right there. It's Tyler. I don't know who Tyler is, but Tyler has a 51% sell-through rate, so that means like half of all the items that have been listed have sold. So that's going to look like an even number of items sold and listed. A lot of people will call that 100% sell-through rate. I don't care how they calculate their sell-through rate. I just like to know, and Terapeak does it the way that I'm telling you. So it is the number of items sold and listed is the total number. So you're going to take that number, add it together, and then take the number sold and divide it by the total number. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, please tell me in the comments and I will try my best to explain it better. Okay, now the average sale price on this is only $25.74. I have sold these before. These were returned because they were hemmed and I didn't catch it. They were hemmed well and I just didn't catch it. I always put all my measurements, like I take pictures of the measurements and put those in the listing. So it was in there, but I didn't notice that it had been hemmed, and I think the person just saw 63 long and they were no longer long. So it was, you know, partially my fault, partially their fault for not looking at all the pictures and stuff, but it was returned. I actually made more profit on it the second time around. The first time it sold within 3 months, and then the second time it took 5 months to sell from the time they were relisted. Let's see, I sold them for $31.45 after fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, which was $2.50 at a local thrift store. My profit's $14.80. So again, right there, kind of averaging what I want to make per item. Jeans are kind of heavy, but with this new, like, depending on where people live, I don't know where I was going with that. Never mind. I was gonna say I usually put jeans in padded flat rates, but it was cheaper to not. So I'm not sure why. All right. This was kind of a fail on my part, but I bought this at my favorite thrift store for 64 cents. It is Carolyn Taylor, and if you see, it says made in the UK, which is generally like a, oh, look that up or whatever. I didn't look it up because I paid 64 cents for it. It does have these little pearl-like beads. It's just an acrylic sweater. It's really soft. But I went ahead and picked it up, but it only has a 9% sell-through rate, and the average sale price is only $13.10. That's on eBay. It did sell on Poshmark for $13. Now, I will tell you, you want to be careful, or just be aware, not necessarily careful. If anything is under $15 on Poshmark, there's a flat fee of $2.95. So if you sell something for $10, they're gonna charge you almost $3 in fees. If you sell something for $5, they're gonna charge you almost $3 in fees. So I try really hard, you know, $15, 20% already $3. So I just try really hard to not sell anything under $15. However, I've had this for a really long time. It, you know, the sell-through rate's not great. The average sale price isn't great. Somebody offered me $13. I went ahead and took it. My profit is still $9.41, which for something that I paid 64 cents for, I'm okay with that. All right. So I did sell 2 hats. And you would probably have seen from the thumbnail that one of the hats is my problem situation. But that's not the one I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with a different one. All right. I like to ship my hats in these little, I think they're 8x6x4. This does make them, you know, I have to fold them up to ship. I think some hat sellers don't like that. Some hat buyers don't like that, but I don't know. It has always worked for me. No one's ever complained. Not that, you know, my motive should be people not complaining. I want people to be happy with what they're buying from me, but this is Greyhounds. I don't know what Greyhounds are. So Richardson is the brand. I know that, what's that show called? Oh, Ted Lasso. Is it called Ted Lasso? It's called Lasso. I don't know, whatever that show is called. They're the Greyhounds, and I know it was really popular for a bit. And when I buy things at the Goodwill outlet, sometimes I just take chances on something that's not going to cost that much. My average cost of goods was 88 cents, so 88 cents for a hat. I almost never pay more than $1 for a hat. I don't know that much about them. I don't want to put that much effort and energy into them. This is preamble for what's coming. And I don't want to take that much risk with them either. So paid 88 cents at the Goodwill outlet, sold for $16.40, and my profit is $8.19, which I am very happy for an $8 profit on a Bins hat. Right? The average sale price was right at $16 as well, $16.94. Hold on a second, bud. Oh, the heater just kicked on, sorry. And the sell-through rate's 21%, which is actually pretty good. It did take 6 months to sell.
Mom, can I have that hat?
No, because I just sold this hat. All right, so something weird happened this morning, and it said that USPS was having trouble on the eBay website, so I couldn't actually print out this label yet. So I will have to still work on that.
Mom,
Yeah, honey.
Mom, can you move this yourself?
Nope, not right now. Okay, so this is the hat. So Carolina Tar Heels hats. This is my story. I bought this at the Salvation Army rummage sale. My average cost was 67 cents. I think they should put their hats at like 50 cents. So I spent 50 cents essentially on it, right? I was looking it up, and there were a bunch of vintage Tar Heels. And actually I remember my daughter was with me. I was in the car waiting on my other daughter, and I was like, I'm just gonna list real fast. My other daughter was listening to music, and I looked it up, and I was like, vintage Tar Heels hats. And then I like clicked over to the solds, and it was like 25%. I was like, whoa. She was, I mean, I said it out loud. She looked at me like, what? And I was just kind of surprised because it's usually like, I don't know, 10%, something like that. Tara Peak says it's 15% vintage Tar Heels hats. I'll show you this, this tag is apparently important. Didn't know this tag, it might be important. So I filtered, sold high to low. There were a bunch of like $100 ones, but they had like this crazy big graphic that went here and here. Nothing like this, right? There was nothing exactly like this one, which should have been a clue. There was nothing sold, nothing listed exactly like this one. So it was like a couple that were like $100 or more, and then it went to like $30. $30. And then everything was just between like 20 and 30. Well, this has like a stain here, there's a little hole. It's beat up, right? There's like staining and discoloration on the inside. So I was like, well, I'll just list it for like 20 and get rid of it, right? It sold instantly for $23.16. Somebody bought it full price, but with my 15% coupon, which just after you hear the rest of the story, it's just one of those like, it's gonna cost me just about $5 to ship it. So my profit is $14.33, which is great, right? It's a hat I spent 50 cents on. I was happy with the $8 one from earlier. I immediately got a message. Did the person pay for the hat yet? Yes, sorry. You know that was a $100 hat, right? Even with the flaws. I've been looking for this hat for 3 years, this person said. I was like, no, didn't know. So I asked like, what makes it special? I was like, is it the graphic? I don't know. It has something to do with the maker, I guess. I didn't know. In hindsight, I'm thinking maybe I should have like taken a picture of the graphic and just run it through Google. I don't know. I haven't even done that to like see if that would bring something up. He was like, yeah, he was like, whoever bought that got a great deal. I woke up. So it happened so fast. And I'm sitting there talking to my teenagers and my husband. I was like, I'm so mad. I can't believe I did this. And part of it's like, I'm mad. And part of me is like, I mean, whatever, right? I can't do anything about it. I'm not gonna like I could be horrible and like take the ding and cancel the sale and relist it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm a honest person. I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, somebody got a really great deal. I woke up, was that last night? That wasn't last night, it was the night before. I woke up the next morning, had another message. You know that hat's worth over $100. Whoever you sold it to got a great deal. It's like, yes, I've been told. Thank you. So that's my story. I made $15 on this hat. Okay, so my total profit for over the weekend was $127.82. Hey bud, can you shut the door please? Quickly. Okay, we're on fall break this week, so it's a little chaotic in my house, and it's also quite a bit later than it usually is. If I average that out, it's $63.91 per day. I'm shooting for 66, 67 a day, so really close. Pretty pleased with that. Anyway, tell me, please, one, reassure me that it's going to be okay and it's going to make up for my loss in some other way, or let me know if you've done something similar. Have you sold something for really cheap that was actually worth a lot if you're a reseller? Or maybe have you gotten a really good deal that way? Because I mean, certainly somebody might be reselling this, maybe, or maybe they're keeping it for their collection. I don't know. The first person that messaged me actually sent me pictures of their like vintage Tar Heels hat collection. It's pretty cool. All right, leave me a comment, give me a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you soon.